Once upon a time, there were a girl and a boy in a lovely suburban home. These young siblings were very much alike. They were both extremely rebellious. Their parents were scared, so it made them strict. This angered the teens and led to their descent into hell. Hansel and Gretel decided to leave. They would be best off alone. On this they agreed. So they packed up some clothes, some food, and some cash, and went off into the world, the cold and dangerous world. In the beginning, it felt exhilarating, the stealing and the sneaking, but after a while it became boring, then frightening. Indeed, it was darker. Winter was approaching, and the cold on their bare hands and noses made a peak of regret appear. But they could not go back, not after what they had said, for they had sworn to their parents that neither one of them would see them again. The teenagers kept their promise. It was the least they could do, but craving some warmth, they started walking about. Some time later, Hansel stopped. He had heard the thumping of the bass coming from somewhere. He dragged his sister, following the sound, and when they were at the source of the noise, they found themselves in front of a house. Warmth, life, and fun seemed to radiate from it. Before they knew it, they were on the doorstep, and the doorbell had been rung. Somebody came to the door, a red cup in his hand, and the siblings could barely hear over the shouting, but they managed to make out the words, "Come on in!" So they did. Once they were in, it all went very quickly. They made friends, but a charming guy was all smiles, who told them they could stay with him, have a roof, a bed, provided they would help out with his business. The runaways agreed, and the men told them they needed to seal the deal, while pointing toward a pile of snow-white powder on the mirrored table. The siblings hesitated for about a second before they smiled and went ahead. A few weeks passed by and the two teens were hooked. It was going great. The dealer was Hansel's best friend and Gretel was his lover. But at one point, the dealer decided he had enough of giving, so he told them they needed to pay for all their dough if they wanted to stay there. They obviously had no money, so they were in deep trouble. They went back home to try and have their parents help, but their stepmother slapped the door right to their faces. They went back to their old refuge to try negotiating, but the dealer's guards immediately shut the boy down as the dealer explained to his personal play toy that she could pay back her debts by working on the streets, but that she had to be tested by him one last time. He dismissed her by throwing a baggie away. She grabbed it and hated the fact that she was about to go to her room and inject the substance into her system. Later that day, she went back to her ex-lover's room as he nodded his bodyguards out. She approached him and undressed, sliding her dagger out of her boot, and as he shut his eyes, she stabbed him in the heart, making sure he would never open them again. She slid out the window without forgetting a few baggies. The next morning, she was found dead. No, the bodyguards did not find her. She did this to herself. She took her last breath with a needle in her arm.